Welcome to Cosmic Channels. Open minds on cosmic lines. To call in to future episodes of Cosmic Channels, follow Cosmic Channels on YouTube and Twitch and tune in live Sundays at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Time. The number is 1-833-703-0424. The Cosmic Channels are open.
Woo! I'm BJ Cheeks.
I'm Zeltron.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Andrew.
Lines are open, and we're taking all calls about all things paranormal this evening. So if you got a ghost story or a creepy story, poltergeist, Ouija stories, whatever you got that's paranormally activated, we want it tonight. 1-833-703-0424.
Cheers, brothers. Brain, what do you got there?
I'm drinking a nice
Wine?
Crown and Ginger.
Crown and Ginger.
Yeah.
I'm on the
Elegant.
coffee whiskey.
Is that good, eh? It's that good. I still haven't, I keep forgetting to try it.
Jameson cold brew. Oh, man.
I mean,
Delicious.
if we were doing AM podcasts, I could get on that, but
You drink it straight or what?
Straight. No need. As long as keep the bottle cold, it's delicious.
What percentage is it?
It's a little lower than regular whiskey. I think it's only 30.
Still, if you're drinking it straight, though.
30, yeah. It'll get you. It'll sneak up quick because it's delicious, so you can drink it pretty fast.
that's why that beard's growing so thick and luscious. It's all that fucking whiskey.
It's all the whiskey.
Everyone knows beards thrive under whiskey-rich blood.
Definitely.
I mean, yeah, look at all the awesome Irishmen who have fucking sweet beards.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
What's the so for tonight with the paranormal stories? What's your guys' most paranormal? You guys got any like the most paranormal thing that's ever happened to you? Or someone you know?
Not to me personally, but Ladies Out when I first met her. I think I've told this. I think I've told this story probably on ATT sometime. But she would say like that she had a ghost. She lived in this old ass house, and I never really believed her. And she's like, "Yeah, it feels like someone's like sitting on the end of the bed, like a big person, like someone heavy, and like they get up and like the whole bed kind of like sinks." And I was like, "Well, it's just the cat, right?" They had a big fat cat, and then
Fucking fat ass cat.
and then when it
Garfield.
And then one night when I was sleeping over there, I felt it. Freaked me the hell out. Like someone got off the end of the bed. The door was closed. The cat was not in there. And I was just like, I don't know what that is.
Did you go back to sleep?
No, because shortly after the ghost, I seen a mouse come out of her closet. And I was like, you got mice in the basement. Sure enough, there was a mouse hole in the closet. She moved out 2 weeks later.
It was a fat ass mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Giant ghost
You had
mouse.
it all wrong the whole time. It wasn't a cat. It was Mike Tyson.
Before one of you tells your paranormal story, let's bring in a caller and we'll save it for after. Hello, Cosmic Channels.
Hey.
Hey.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're on the line.
Okay, cool. So I'm Nathan. Okay, dokie. I'm calling from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Nice.
So it's just one story. It's about like sleep paralysis, out of body kind of dream.
Let's hear it.
Okay, well, I'm 21, and ever since a kid, I've always had like bad sleep paralysis kind of experiences. And I remember this one time it happened a couple years ago, probably 2015, maybe 14. I was experiencing a sleep paralysis state. What happened is kind of had like an out of body experience. Like I woke up like floating around my body, and I don't know how. I always tell everybody and they always don't believe me, but I was floating around my room. Everything looked the same as I had it, and I know it's a small room. I only have a door, probably. I don't know how small it is, but it's pretty small. But everything, the closet, everything was how it is when I woke up. And so I didn't have a door at the time. It was literally just, I didn't have a door.
Did you, like your parents, did they take the door away, or you just never had a door?
Yeah, I just never had a door at the time. It was like I had broke the first one, and I guess my parents didn't want to pay for another one, so I had to pay for it.
Fair.
But I didn't have a job at the time, so
Yeah.
Whatever. I didn't pay for it. But anyways, I was floating around my room. It was about, I don't know how long it was, but I remember like physically seeing myself sleeping, and my brother was in the room at the time. He was sleeping, and I kind of like floated around his body. And after that, I was just floating. And then since it was dark, I like remember floating into like the doorway. And then I woke up, and I woke up with another case of sleep paralysis. But it was like I was hearing voices and like whispering, and then it just stopped, and I woke up like fully, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Sorry about cursing.
Don't be sorry about that.
But yeah, I know it's confusing.
All good
How
on this
dare
show.
you fucking curse on our fucking show? You
Yeah.
fucking
Watch
piece of
your
shit.
watch your fucking mouth.
Oh, bad. But yeah, I'm not a really good storyteller, but that's what happened.
Now, when you were floating around, did you experience any other entities, like any type of ghosts or supernatural, or was just you, like your consciousness floating around?
No, but a couple weeks back, I remember hearing about this girl that had like a smiling man in her dream, and I had an experience with that guy. Like, kid you not, I had an experience with that guy.
With the smiling man, grinning man.
Grinning man.
Yeah, a tall guy, like a. It's like I don't know.
He
how
has
to
a
explain it,
name
but
too. I can't remember what it is.
Something.
Yeah.
Something. Vega.
Indrid Cold or something.
Oh yeah. Well, right off the bat, you can't trust the guy because he's tall. You know,
Can't.
something off about him to begin with, right?
Yeah. I mean, I could tell you a little bit more about the smiling dude that I seen in my dream book.
No, we're trying to limit it to one story per caller, so make sure to save that one and call back another time.
Okay.
I do have a question though. Any in Vegas? Any good like haunted places in Vegas that you know about? Do they do haunted tours or anything down there?
Vegas. Not really. There's just like a haunted museum. I'm not really like a big like ghost. I'm like I believe in them, but I'm not really like that big and like going to.
You're not searching them out.
Sounds smart to me.
No, yeah.
You can just say I'm a smart person, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, then. That's all I have for you guys.
Thanks, man.
All right, thanks, Nathan.
Thanks.
Man, take care.
Talk to you again.
All right.
Bye.
See you.
Oh, I thought I was gonna have to get the Dream Police siren out there. Someone said in the chat right away. Out of body experience though, I've never really had like a out of body from sleeping, just from drugs.
I was thinking about it. I was like, how many times do you think how many times do you look in the mirror a day?
I don't know, 20.
Once? More than once?
Every time you go to the bathroom, you see yourself.
See yourself? So you have a pretty good idea what you look like. Would that be accurate?
Unfortunately, yes.
Through my eyes, I know what I look like. Yes.
Okay. So if you were to have,
I always think so. I think I know what I look like, and then I see a picture of me, and I'm like, "That's me." Yeah.
So I was thinking about it when we were talking about, our NDEs and out of body experiences. When we were talking about the one thing where, when your brain basically doesn't have any sensory information, like that part of your brain is kind of shut down or whatever, and so your sense of space is gone. Since you can't feel anything, you can't feel the air currents around your body, you can't feel, the weight of your body, and your brain would probably feel comfortable or more comfortable designing some type of narrative, because that's what our brains do, like to make patterns and stories. And then if it lifted out of your body, and if you were thinking about leaving your body because there's nothing tethering you to it, technically, then you would look down at yourself, like your brain would be able to generate an image of yourself.
That makes sense. I mean, you basically, your brain generates like hundreds of NPCs for you, right? So why couldn't you do yourself?
If you dream at all, like your brain can generate in completely realistic scenarios that you feel are real, and you wake up and you're like, that was almost real.
Felt so real
why
till you
couldn't it
wake
just
up. Yeah.
be something like that? It's just like dream within a dream or whatever. But I would feel, comfortable in saying that is perhaps what happens when out of body experiences. Your brain is generating a picture of yourself and the things around you.
I like that. That's good.
Mm-hmm. Especially a place that you're familiar with, or you spent a lot of time in. So like your bedroom would be one of those places.
Anytime I've had sleep paralysis and I leave my body, I look down, I'm chiseled. I look at my body and I go, why would I want to leave that?
Well, that's 100%
I go back
a
in
dream.
and it's not. Yeah, then it's a dream. That's how I know it's a dream.
Are you kidding me? I saw that selfie, man. You're looking good.
Yeah, looking minus the upper face looked you look like a murderer, but
yeah, get
some
bad
lighting.
All right, Zell's jealous. He's the pale guy. All right, stop trying to take.
Stop
his
trying to steal my thunder here.
Jesus,
Tell you that running challenge is going to be hard for your boy Thickless Cage over here. Going to be making grooves in the pavement every time I take a step.
You've been training, I thought.
Yeah, no, I have, but it's going to be hard to hit that 100. So what, do we got another caller? Or we're waiting.
One of our. Yeah, let's hear another story, another paranormal from one of us.
Dan, Andrew, you guys got a paranormal one? Friend of a friend?
Lots.
Or if it happened
They've already
to you?
been explained. I don't know. Not in my personal life at all, really. I'm pretty blessed. I put up all the warning. You know what I mean? I follow all the rules. Every single one of my fucking windows and doors have salt around it. I don't look into mirrors when it's dark. I run from place to place when I shut the lights off. Like, I'm on top of it.
Do you know still to this day I'll sometimes turn off the lights in the bathroom and go Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary
It's still interesting.
3 times
You're a wild man.
and just wait. I like to roll the dice. I mean I've a bunch of ghost footprints in my old house. Trying to think of the most paranormal one. That's hard to say. Maybe the most recent one is so I have like one of my grandmothers passed away a year or 2 back, and she'd always said like, oh, she would let us know, right? Let us know if there's
something there.
She'll find a way. And I never thought about this, but it's funny now because I'm pretty sure we were recording when it happened. I thought we had an earthquake. Like we were definitely in studio. We were playing a video game.
No, I remember that we were recording.
Yeah. And I thought I had an earth. I was like, holy shit, we're having an earthquake. All this stuff on my top shelf fell, but it was actually just 2 things. It was these 2 Christmas ornaments that my grandmother made, and they fell off the shelf. But then like all this other shit that was super tippy, I had like this vase and a bunch of other stuff, didn't even move. And I didn't think anything really about it right away. I was just like, there's an earthquake. There's got to be some sort of earthquake happening or whatever. I always thought it was weird. And then later on, all of a sudden, like a week later, I kind of went like, oh my God, like only the 2 Christmas ornaments fell off and neither of them broke. And they're fragile and they were in like a glass case. So it's not like they were just loose Christmas balls. I have them in like a wooden base, and the wooden base has this like mounted like hook that you hang it on. And then it had a glass cover that screws on. So it's like to protect it, right? Just because it's something she made for me, I wanted to keep it.
So what you're saying is your dead grandma was playing with your Christmas balls?
Yeah. 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 That's what I was saying.
I remember when you told that story before. It's kind of weird.
Dude, it happened while we were getting ready to record.
Yeah, I remember. Let's pause it though. We'll come back to it. We got a caller.
Perfect.
Hello, Cosmic Channels.
Hi there. It's Henry calling again from Northern California, Fortuna to be exact, home of the Redwoods and the Sam Squatches.
Yeah.
Called in last week. That was the gruesome twosome, and wanted to call in again because I've got a surplus of paranormal stories.
All right,
perfect.
Man. Let's hear one.
All right. So I'm going to start off with a little description. A lot of this stuff has happened at like the family house. And my family, it's only about a 25-year-old house. I grew up in it. I lived in it my whole life. Nothing weird. We were like the 4th or 5th house in the neighborhood. And we're kind of up above, like in the foothills in the city we're in right now. But we've always had a lot of paranormal activity. And it's kind of interesting because like my dad's side is pretty Catholic, mom's side not so much. So I was raised around it at first and then broke away from it because I grew up with my mom at this house. And so I kind of had an idea of like spiritual stuff and, you know, that type of thing, but I never really was, you know, deep into the Christianity, religious side of stuff. But so many things have happened here that it's kind of like, well, you can't just chalk it up to coincidence. So I'll start off with one that happened, just 2 short stories I've got. One of them was we were all in my mother's bedroom, which is the master bedroom, and it's in like the back right corner of the house, and it's a 2,200 square foot house, you know, pretty average size for the area, open floor plan. So you can hear a lot of stuff that's going on. You know, there's not much stuff that can hide from you because you can see around a lot of corners pretty easily without having to go far. And we're all in her bedroom. My dad's over. I'm with my 2 sisters. And there's a patio in the middle at the back of the house that one of the walls shares the master bedroom. And that wall is just 2 big glass doors that's got a curtain. And at this time, there was a sofa in front of the door. And out of nowhere, you know, no sound, no warning or anything, there's this absolutely massive slam against those 2 doors that were, you know, behind the sofa bordering the patio. And it was so big that the door wasn't locked, the deadbolt wasn't on or anything, but it actually like popped the door out of, you know, the little slot to open and close where it actually keeps the door shut.
Yeah.
So I had no idea what could have happened. This was like probably 7 or 8 years ago. And, you know, there was no markings on the door, like no signs of an animal or anything like that. I mean, we get plenty of earthquakes, but it was like super localized to just the door. Like something had ran full force into the door.
Boom.
And if the sofa wasn't there, the door would have very obviously swung open more because it was strong enough to actually pop the door open. So that was just kind of a freaky situation, but it didn't seem to faze anybody because we were kind of used to at that. Well, I'm getting to that. So we're kind of used to at that point having a lot of weird shit happen at our house. On multiple occasions, we heard chains dragging in the attic and like full on adult
Bob
footsteps,
Cratchit up there,
and we hear
just running amok.
We heard knocking in the walls, and it got so bad that my mom, at least once or twice, had to call, you know, my uncle and my grandpa, who weren't too far away, to come up and check out the attic because we legitimately thought, like, you know, some homeless person was squatting upstairs. But there's not many places to hide because it's essentially just, you know, one plywood walkway and then the rest is insulation and you'll fall through if you walk on that. So just a lot of creepy shit like that. So, you know, we've never really been able to explain what's going on at this house. I mean, it's mellowed down over the years, but like we built the house and the only thing that's somewhat close that might explain it is there's a cemetery like maybe 500 feet away. Yeah, and it's nowhere near bordering us. Yeah, exactly. But it's nowhere near like bordering us. But I'm like, this is the only, you know, with the exception of, you know, some sort of burial ground. So it's kind of weird. And then I'll get to the other quick story that was much more recent. And I need to mention that, you know, there's a lot of a lot of these things that happened kind of felt like they had negative energy to them. So, you know, more on the sinister side, you know, having neighbors creeped out by shit that they see when they come over, things like that. And then my grandfather, one of my grandfathers passed away, and it seemed like for a really, really long time that nothing happened. And I, you know, growing up Christian at the beginning, you know, that side of me was like, well, maybe he has something to do with that. Tying into, you know, Braden. Yeah. But, you know, that kind of was, you know, put my mind at ease because I was like, oh, cool. You know, maybe that explains why there's no like mean, creepy shit happening anymore. And then not too long after that, this was probably 3 years ago, I had a situation where I was sleeping. This is probably 4 years ago. I was like a junior in high school or senior. I'm laying in my bed, which is in the back left of the house. It's a weekend, and I'm starting to wake up, and I sleep with my little dog, and he's tucked in between my knees, and he's got his head nuzzled on my knees. Now, I'm on my side, and I'm facing where the door to my bedroom is. And I'm kind of in a state, like I'm waking up, but I'm not quite, awake. I know that, okay, it's morning. I know I'm in my bed. I'm kind of conscious, but I'm still in the process of, getting up. I haven't like opened my eyes or anything, but something catches my attention, and I feel my dog stiffen up. Like I feel all his muscles tense up, and he does this like right before he's about to bark, like when he sees something. And I figure, oh, maybe my mom is peeking into my door because my door's open. She might be checking if I'm still asleep or something. And so I just kind of brush it off. And my dog, I'm like, oh, he's probably going to bark or just mellow out once he realizes it's her. He stands up, and right after he stands up, I hear a voice of a little girl, and it's just one word. And she says, hello? And, it probably sounded like, younger than 10. And as soon as I heard hello, my dog fucking books it, like barking like crazy, flies off my bed. My eyes are instantly wide open, and I jump out of my bed because I'm like, what the shit? And I get out of my bedroom, and I'm in the opposite corner of the house from my mom. So she would have had to have hauled ass. Oh. And my dog's like running circles around the house, barking, looking for something, like he totally saw something. I go to my mom's bedroom right away. Her door is locked. And I got up quick enough that like I would have heard her like slam the door in order to actually get in without me seeing her, or heard her sprinting. She was sound asleep, and it didn't sound hostile at all. It was a very like mellow hello, and it was very like welcoming, I guess. So that's probably the most significant like paranormal stuff that's happened ever since my grandfather passed, but nothing really, negative since then. So that's what I've got for tonight. I've got plenty more, but I don't want to keep you guys hold for too long.
Now, I got some questions. How long have you been living at that house?
So I was born in this city, and I lived here my whole life. I'm in the area again, just because.
As kids, how often did you fuck around in that cemetery?
Oh, disturb something.
Oh, my sisters did a lot. I have two older sisters who have both also listened to the show for a long time, or at least ATT. And they'd go with the neighborhood kids and go and, shit around in the cemetery, play hide and seek and stuff like that. And I only did it a couple times. So I'm like, this is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, this is what happens. You're reaping what you sow, my friend. These are the consequences. There's consequences to your actions.
Yeah, it's called paranormal activation.
And
my sister's actions.
If we learned anything from Goosebumps, we know that dogs can see fucking ghosts. All right? You're paranormally activated.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's one thing like, just the dog freaking out too. I hate that. Hate it so much.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, and that's what
terrifying.
that's what added a lot of credibility to it for me, was like my dog. And I've always been a firm believer in like, pets can see shit we can't, or at least sense it, or whatever it may be. And like that with my dog was like, oh, I definitely did not imagine that.
No kidding. Awesome. All right, we got to keep the lines moving tonight, but thanks for calling.
Thanks, you
Cheers,
guys.
man.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Also, I got to say, because it's going to bug me, it's not Bob Cratchit who wears the shades. It's Jacob Marley.
It's the ghost of Christmas past. Right,
no, it's Jacob Marley.
Yeah, who is the ghost of Christmas past?
He's not,
I looked at your face, so I just Googled it. So suck it.
So suck it.
Some more of that sexual tension going.
There
on.
it is. See his face, and
there's
he just turns red.
There's another.
That's not
he wore the
factually
chains
accurate.
that he forged in life.
I can't compute. Steam is coming from my ears.
I was like, oh, Andrew's wrong. Better fucking fix it. Because
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
gonna just go on being stupid. So maybe I'll help him out this one
Oh,
time.
perfect. Yeah. Okay. I'll believe that. Is that what happened to your hair? Because you started getting food poisoning?
Well,
You got
I'm
sick
glad
and
that
your
you're
hair fell
so
out?
angry about it that you're gonna remember this experience. It's the only way you fucking
I'm not
function.
angry about it. I Googled it because I
Oh.
saw your fucking cunty eyes squint when I said it.
Yeah. Yeah. Trying to keep my eyes.
Oh my
cutting
God,
left
that's not
'cause I'm trying to cut
factually
through your
right.
Bullshit.
This is a podcast, for Christ's sakes.
I don't even
Better,
know
better,
about.
better get it
I'm
right.
just-
Come on,
Bob
man.
Cratchit comes the
Come on,
fucking
hey,
first
this
thing
is
I
a
think about.
podcast. You better come here with your information and get it correct.
We have someone in the chat also saying you're wrong, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. We're gonna move on with another caller. Get it together. Here I go. Hello, Cosmic Channels.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Big Al in upstate New York.
Big Al. Cheers, man. What do you got for us tonight?
Cheers, buddy. So my family has a cottage on an island in between Canada. They call it the Canadian Riviera, up in the
Nice.
Thousand Islands, up in St. Lawrence.
Yep. Cool.
My grandpa probably bought this. It's the only house. There's only one house, small island, in like the 1930s, and he ended up passing away there, and probably like on the island itself, drinking wine, having a good night, watching the stars. Had a heart attack in like 1985,
Right.
and I wasn't born till 1987. But there's always been like weird. It's a weird feeling up there, like weird little creeps and noises. But I've had like 2 or 3 experiences that I can't really explain. But the biggest was it was me and 3 buddies playing cards out on the porch, which was like an addition, and it has 2 French doors with like an astragal, so you have to like open them the right way. And the doors just opened one, the other, like 5-second break, like someone walked in, the doors closed. And just like last caller, my dog got up and freaked out and was scratching to get outside, out to the outdoors. And I've never really been able to really explain those doors just opening and closing like that.
How are they attached? Do they have like a bolt through the top like a French door, or they have like a lock, or how are they closing usually?
So it's just normal French doors with like a T astragal in it. So it has that like block down the middle, and they have to lock into each other basically.
At the top of the door,
Yeah,
is there like a
top.
stop? Like you kind of push it into place?
Yeah. And then it does have like a bolt lock at the top too, but which wasn't locked at the time. But either way, like just the door locks themselves.
Yeah, if the
Would,
doors are
would
together,
prevent it
it's
from closing.
pretty hard to open both of them like that.
Yeah, and that's the only part of the house that's heated. And this is probably like November, so like those doors were definitely fully closed because we were keeping the heat inside.
For sure. So
And then, that's like the biggest one. There's been like a couple like crackly phone calls, when I'm up there, like a scratchy voice on the side, which is always kind of weird because there was no phone on the island when my grandpa passed away, and they only brought a phone on because like in case of another emergency like that.
right.
So it always just seems like really weird, like that the phone just like comes off the hook like that. And, just like a scratchy voice from the other side.
So just like random paranormal. You got a poltergeist or something.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Doors opening,
Yeah.
phones off the hook.
Yeah. We,
The phone off the hook's a little concerning.
Yeah. Phone off the hook first so they can't call out.
Yeah.
Then the poltergeist gets violent. You're screwed. Now, what do you think?
Yeah,
what do you think? What you think it's a ghost of your grandpa, or
I don't really know. It's
Just
I'm not
something.
a huge believer of it. I've always really tried to explain like those things away, like when my family members have them. So I'm not like I really can't. I don't know. I haven't put much stock into it. I actually sold my share of the cottage. It was kind of a creepy place, and I just didn't really like it up there too much. So I got out of it, and I don't really go up there too much anymore. But if I had to guess, I'd say maybe it was my grandpa, but it just seems creepy up there.
just creepy all around? Well, I think if you're going with Andrew's way of dealing with paranormal activation, you did the right thing. Sold your stake, got out.
Yeah.
You're out. Gone.
It's the only way to do it.
There's no chance of any more activation.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, the haunted island. South there you go.
Yeah, poltergeist, man.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, have a good night. Thanks for the call. Bye.
Bye.
I know it's in certain states, but I don't know about Canada. Is it like is it compulsory that you have to disclose that your house may be haunted before you sell it? I know in some
Not
states
haunted.
you have to do that.
Not
No,
haunted.
you have to disclose if there's a murder.
Murder, yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, you have to do that here, like crimes or whatever. But there's also, I think that, I don't know if it goes by state or it's a law in real estate, but you have to, if the house is possibly haunted, you have to disclose that. I guess in the listing, like, or something, like under whatever, like the real estate agent has to tell you. They have to tell them that if it's haunted or not.
The only thing that I'm a little disappointed in is both of your comedic timing. In my head, I was really hoping that as soon as that guy got off the line, you guys would instantly go back to mocking each other. That's what I was hoping. I was hoping as soon as he's like, see you later,
just kept going over top of him.
Just keep talking.
I just hang the phone up.
And then every day,
just hold on a second.
Christmas Carol enough times to know that it's Jacob fucking Marley.
And then me and Zell just sit here laughing until Zell interjects, hey, we got another call. We all just sit silently.
All I'm saying is he doesn't correct anybody else. Only me.
We're never wrong.
That's because I've learned from 182 case files.
Start with me.
I just don't say anything. I'm very vague generalizations.
I guess.
Right? I never get into too many specifics.
Hey, listen, Cratchit was in Dickens' book. He's one of the characters. Give me that. I've fucking read a chapter book one time in my life. Okay?
All right.
He's in there.
Sure.
Well, if that's the one chapter book that you read, I think you remember that it's Jacob Marley.
Hey, listen. Relax.
Right? We got any more people on the line?
No, but when we do, I'll let you know.
Now, the last story with the doors and stuff, it's strange to me that like no wind. I don't know how that could happen with latches. Like the only explanation to me, like logically outside of paranormal, is that either like the latch, sometimes they can come loose enough that they just can slide down if you shake it enough. You know what I mean? Like if you kind of like move a door, they're loose enough that they'll pop down, depending on how the style of French door.
Or
interesting.
Like if this is like a cabin built a long time ago, doors probably don't fit that well anymore. So you might have to give it a little push to get it in there, and so it might feel closed, but it's kind of like
pressed.
It's pressure fit, but and a little bit of air pressure change might get it to pop. Maybe if you're going with this,
even with all those rational explanations, still got to move.
Well, I'm not saying that these are rational explanations. I'm saying like for all this, like all this stuff would happen for like in order for that to make sense. Like in the house I live in still doesn't make sense that this fucking closet door pops open. I do not understand.
Why are you still there?
Get out.
It's your first mistake.
I'm trying.
You gotta go.
Yeah, then I have to be like, there's not a vent in there or anything, right? So
not in the closet.
You used the EMF meter. It said haunted. Get out.
Oh.
Does that happen when you turn, like, I don't know if it's like the heating in the house, like does it happen when it does that?
No, it just happens randomly.
Okay, let's come back to Braden's haunted closet in a second. Hello, Cosmic Channels.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Chris from Denver.
Chris from Denver.
What's up, Chris?
Welcome back to the show.
Yep, how y'all doing?
Doing well, brother. What do you got for us tonight?
So I called y'all last week about my creepy kid with Grammy.
Yep.
And everything. But so the story that y'all told me to call back with was my Ouija board story.
Yes.
So back when I was in the Navy, I was in Pensacola for some. Yeah.
You had to say the joke. You had to say.
But
I'm sure he hasn't heard that one.
Yeah, no one's heard that one before.
And you'll hear it 800 more.
The semen and the long little tubes and But so we were in the barracks one night and one of my buddies texted me. He's like, "Hey, I got a Ouija board. You trying to come up and try this weird shit out?" And I was like, "Yeah, by all means." So we go up to his room and we do a little bit of research on like how we're supposed to do this. And one of the things was there's supposed to be like no electric lights lighting it up, so it's supposed to be like candles and whatnot, and we didn't have any candles because we couldn't have candles in the barracks room. But what we did is a couple of us had Zippos.
Nice.
So we get our Zippos, we light them, and we stand them up around where we're going, doing all this shit. And, sorry, I'm watching a hockey game right now, so I'm getting distracted.
Who's playing?
But, who's playing? Dallas and Nashville. And Dallas is winning, but there was a goal under review.
All right.
But, yeah, so we had our Zippos set up and everything. And we're doing this Ouija board. And we start asking the questions because we get a response, whatever. And we start asking questions.
I got one logistical question. So when you guys would ask the questions, did you guys all have hands on the board and moving it? Or did you just start from like stationary planchette?
We started it stationary. We started it in the middle of the board. Like, I forget what they look like, but like pretty much centered on the board.
Yeah,
I have another quick question. Was it an official Hasbro Ouija board?
Oh no, yeah, it had the Hasbro blessing and everything.
Okay.
Oh,
perfect.
Okay,
So yeah, we're doing it, and we're asking it questions, and we asked the ghost or spirit, I guess, what its name was, and it had spelled out, like, it went to a couple random letters, but it eventually came to like a female's name. I forget exactly what the name was, but it was like some short female's name. And we were like, okay, cool. Like, we're actually getting somewhere here. And we said, what happened? Like, how did you die? And it started spelling out murder. And it finished spelling out murder. And then we asked, who murdered you? And it said, Dad.
Oh.
And then we asked why Dad murdered. Yeah, we asked why Dad murdered the spirit. And then all of the Zippos started flickering really bad. And then they went out. And there was no airflow in the room because it was a military barracks room and they couldn't care less about us. And that happened. So we had one of the dudes who didn't have his hands on it or whatever start relighting the Zippos. And right after he lit the last one, they all went out again.
Fuck.
And then we asked the spirit, like, would you like us to leave you alone? And it said no. So we were like, okay, where is your dad now? And it said here.
Here?
And then we asked the spirit, we asked the spirit if its dad was dead as well. And it said yes. And then it went to goodbye.
It just hung up on you?
Creepy.
And you guys checked your fuel and your Zippos after that? They were all full, right?
Yeah, no, they were all full. Like, they all lit like normal after, like, when it said goodbye and we were done. They all lit like normal
really
and they
hot.
stayed
How
lit.
long were you sitting there lit? Like, those things must have got pretty hot.
Probably, like, the whole ordeal was probably like 5-10 minutes. And they were warm, but like, we lit them right afterwards, and they lit and they stayed lit and they were fine.
Huh.
And there's like a little bit more to it. So after all of that, I was like, all right, I'm deucing out. Like, I'm done. I ain't messing with this anymore. I went back up to my room, and the room I was in, it was just me because there was usually two of us to a room. And then they were conjoined. So we shared a bathroom with another room. And the room next to mine was empty, and all the furniture was turned up on the desks. Like, the chair was butt side on the desk and everything like that. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. Go back up to my room. I start dicking around on my computer, and I hear noises. I hear noises going on in the room next to mine. So I was like, no, there ain't no fucking way. And I go into that room, and all of the chairs that were in there were sitting on the floor how a normal chair would be. And one of them was like caught to the left a little bit. So I peeked my head around the corner to look at the other one. And the one that was caught to the left starts shifting.
Oh, fuck.
Like, just slowly starts shifting back to normal.
Like, just a nice, slow, creepy slide.
Yeah, very, very slow. Like, if somebody had like a fishing line attached to it and was pulling it without trying to make it like jump or anything, It was just the slowest shift ever. And then I went back into my room, went back into that room, and they were both pushed into the desks, like as if you got up and pushed your chair in. So I never went back in that room again.
Yeah, fuck that.
That's the right reaction.
Yeah,
That's the right thing to do.
100%.
Unless you,
it was.
You should maybe now. How long has it been now?
Not long enough.
That was back in. Not long enough. No, that was back in 2016.
Where were you stationed?
Back in like January of 2016, Pensacola, Florida.
Pensacola in the barracks.
Yeah, it was on NATC.
You got to contact that barracks, whoever's there now, and get them to try it and see if they have a similar outcome.
Don't put that evil.
Yeah, no, I'd much rather not, because if I do that, I don't want little ghost baby and its dad to come hunt me down.
Find you. Yeah.
Ugh.
Like, my house is already paranormally activated. I don't need my kid talking about some baby hanging out in his closet.
No,
you don't. No, you don't.
You
Well, did you say
responded
it was a
appropriately.
baby? Did it say how old it was? Did you guys ask how old the spirit was?
No, we didn't. I'm just assuming it was a baby because that makes it a little bit more easy for me to stomach.
Fair. Creepy.
Because I don't need it being some old teenager getting ready to come fuck my shit up.
No, hell yeah.
Creepy story.
Yeah, no, Pensacola is a weird place because they have that haunted lighthouse. I don't know if y'all have read about that or heard anything about it.
I haven't, but
there's some weird, crazy haunted lighthouse out there.
Pensacola?
And people have seen shit there. Yeah.
Pensacola haunted
I
lighthouse.
forget what it's called, the lighthouse.
I'm sure if we
But
just...
they do tours.
Yeah, we could definitely find if it's a haunted lighthouse. It'll pop up.
If it's a lighthouse that's been built in like late 1800s and on, it's haunted.
For sure.
All lighthouses are haunted. I don't care. You have to be a special
100%.
type of a person to go live in a lighthouse.
Kind of do.
Well, I mean, not
smart
the
man.
like the electronic,
Not
the new
doing it,
ones, but I'd say like the ones that
The one.
anyone that's been built by it's been around for at least almost 200 years is probably haunted.
Fair.
Well, yeah, because I heard y'all's case file that y'all did on that one lighthouse where there was the storm and the dude was acting all crazy and the other guy was crying. Man,
That
no.
would have been me, just crying the whole time.
I'm not.
In the lighthouse.
Yeah, me too. I'm not. You got me messed up. I'm not going to be in a lighthouse in the middle of a damn hurricane.
Fuck that.
It's not worth it.
Nope.
There ain't any amount of money in this world. Like, I got a pretty low bottom dollar for a lot of things, but living in a lighthouse during a hurricane, I don't have a bottom dollar for
not
that.
gonna
I'm not
happen.
doing it.
No.
Nope. None of tea in China.
Negative. But I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go.
Yeah, well, we'll
Yeah, y'all have a good one.
keep the lines flowing, but we appreciate it. Have a good night.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah. Good night.
Bye.
There was some article I was reading recently about had to do with lighthouses, but it had to do because I remember it being mentioned during that case file about the type of rotation system that the lighthouse used, the one that's like based on mercury. Basically, you put mercury around the bottom of the light so it turns easier or something like that, and how that system actually was like revolutionary at the time.
But poisoning people or what?
Well, not the mercury poisoning stuff, but just the system itself was like something that was revolutionary. It was pretty cool.
Brand new
Apparently
tech.
that was like a big, huge thing when that happened, because it used to be like they would have to turn it by hand or something like that, and that was really difficult. And then the whole mercury system changed like the whole lighthouse game, made things a lot simpler, and probably saved thousands of lives since it was invented, which I thought was pretty neat.
And now lighthouses are all automated, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
There's no one's living in there.
Maybe there might be people. I don't know if they have jobs for like lighthouse keepers anymore. It's mostly, I think people just go in there for like periodic maintenance, a lot of them, but I don't know if they still, I don't know. Lighthouse keeper doesn't seem to be
Seems like
a job listing anymore.
it's not on LinkedIn, I don't think.
Yeah. Might be. I don't know.
If there is, there's only a handful of them left, and they're just for,
It's a dying breed.
just for nostalgia. Like, we keep this
Yeah.
guy in there just because we're wasting taxpayers' dollars.
I mean, a lot of people probably can't meet the beard qualifications. I mean, Zell could probably now at this point.
That thing is
Zell,
magnificent.
Getting there.
Zell looks like a lighthouse keeper.
Oh, easily.
I put on a pair of sealskin jacket and some sealskin
You
boots.
you definitely look like you've had a couple teary nights in the lighthouse alone.
Just your beard soaking up your tears.
If I was to backcomb the beard out like a huge, great bushy beard, I'd make the suit a little bit more.
Zell, I think you could outbeard me. I really do.
Well, my beard like is fairly straight as far as it doesn't curl out too much.
Mine gets all curly and Osama and like just not good, like just out.
But it
doesn't
thick.
look good. It's just not a great looking beard.
I'm getting sick of the beard though. I might have to go here. It's always in my teeth.
Handlebars.
I had to chop up a tree in the backyard, get rid of a dead tree. A couple days later, I reached like some itchy in my chin, and I reach in, and there's fucking wood chips. 2 days later, and I had like 2 showers since then, and I combed my beard like 3 times. It was like this deep under the chin. So
yeah, just shaving the handlebars. Keep the handlebars.
It's almost too hot for.
Keep the handlebars into mutton chops.
Actual chops.
That would look good.
Roll them out.
Cool. That's a good look.
We'll see. I gotta do. You got all this length. I gotta do some. At least one one halfway design before a full shave.
You need to grow it out longer and then braid it, and then that wouldn't happen.
Okay. Yeah, get it nice
and
and
it would
tight.
be braided. It'd be nice and
two braids or one braid.
You do some Viking shit for sure.
Dual braids.
You got that look. You're the man of steel, Zell. Give us something cool.
Okay. We'll see.
Okay.
What's the man of steel? Was that Romanian? What's that? Czech?
Slovakian, Czech.
Slovakian. Your
Polish.
Slovak ancestors would be proud.
They would be. I have Slovak ancestors and I have Norwegian ancestors. Larsson.
Dude, I'm proud.
Larsson.
Embrace your heritage.
Yeah. I noticed you keep that German heritage quiet, eh?
Hidden.
The German, it's a lower percentage.
Too many doodles. He's got to fucking put that shit down deep.
There's probably a couple other. My family's a mixed bag of European all over the continent.
Yeah.
They met on the boats on the way over.
Just
everyone's in the bottom of the boat.
God damn it. Now that image is stuck in my head.
What image?
Bunch of like immigrants coming over on a fucking shitty boat, and they're all just downstairs sucking and fucking and
big
just
orgies, man.
Jesus,
yeah.
Dude, I mean,
I guess there's nothing.
Paint
else
a
to
picture for us, Dan. Jesus,
It was back then. It was
now
like
you all get it in your head. I'm not the only one who gets it.
You know, it's funny. That's where the saying comes. It's the motion in the ocean.
Yes,
dude.
That's where that saying comes from.
It used to be a 45-day journey over, way back in mid 1800s. Slow steamboats.
Yeah, you can't fit a whole bunch of stuff in your fucking bag, so it's probably a bunch of booze in there, and everybody's just getting liquored up,
having fun,
getting laid.
Right. Got another caller. Let's bring them on. Hello, Cosmic Channels.
Hey, this is Gracie from Indiana.
Hey, Gracie. Thanks for calling.
Hey, Gracie. Is this the same Gracie that gave us a bunch of tips for the show after season 1?
Yeah.
Nice.
I love this. I love Cosmic Channels.
Awesome.
Yeah, so give me one second. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about this experience I had in my old apartment. It was about a year ago, and some important details about my apartment. So it's an old building, and I lived in the basement unit, so it was always really dark in there. And so all of the windows of my unit faced the west. And then there was a building across the street. So even in the summertime, my unit did not get a lot of sunlight. So it was like about January. So there was like no sunlight at all coming into my unit. So it had really bad lighting too. So it's just all kind of important details. So I came home from work. It was like 6 o'clock at night. So it was really dark in my unit already. And I walked in and I didn't really notice anything off. I walked all the way back. It's kind of like a weird hallway. So I kind of like walked down my hallway, and I keep all the doors shut just to kind of help keep heat in each of the rooms. So I went back and I got my dog Missy out, and I took her outside. We went to the bathroom. Well, she went to the bathroom. I didn't go to the bathroom outside. Oh, sorry. So we came back in the building, into my unit, and I let her off the leash, and something just felt weird. Nobody lived above me. So, I would never hear anybody above me. And the person that lived, shared the wall on the other side of the building, they were older. So it was actually a really quiet building for the most part. So something felt off. I'm like, you know what? I was kind of at a weird point in my life. So I thought it was just me. So I walk over to the fridge. I'm getting dinner ready. And my dog, she was kind of by me, and then she just walked backwards, first standing completely up on her back and sat down on my foot and was staring at the wall that separated the living room and my bedroom. So remember, my bedroom door is shut. I haven't gone in there yet. And she's staring at it. So I immediately grab my wooden baseball bat. So I'm like, someone's in my apartment, and I'm that big person. I'm 5'2", 120 pounds, not a big person. So I'm like, fuck. So I just kind of started talking to her, pretending everything was normal. And she does not bark. This dog does not bark. She is so friendly. And she was next to me, body pressed against my leg as I'm walking over to my bedroom. And I'm just ready to swing this bat when I open the door. So I open the door and hit the light switch on, and Missy just darts in the room, teeth baring, she's ready to get somebody. And there's nothing in there. And then she just starts so she ran to the far corner of the room, back kind of by my closet. She put her nose to the floor and smelled the entire perimeter of the room. So I had a half bathroom attached to it.
Right.
She went all the way into the bathroom and smelled the entire room, walked out of the apartment still smelling the edge of the wall, and did the entire apartment. It was the freakiest thing I've ever experienced. So after that, I went into my cabinet and I burned some sage. And so it's just a little ghost story, but it freaked me out, man. I've never seen her do anything like that since then. And
besides the dog's like sense of it, did anything like flicker or move or knock or any other signs?
No. So I would get like weird feelings in that unit though. I always kept the lights on in those rooms. Like if I was in the unit, all the lights were always on because I would always get scared that I was going to like see somebody when I walked in, just like not a person, but just like see something. Mm-hmm. So I would just get these weird feelings, and she would sometimes like just stare. I mean, I know dogs just stare, but after that, she would get really nervous, like just like randomly, and she would just come over and sit by me. So
what's her name?
It was a weird experience. Her name is Misty.
She's a good girl. She's got your back.
Yeah.
She's sniffing that place.
Have you ever walked out of your room with a baseball bat since then?
Me?
Yeah. Have you ever done that again? Like, have you ever had like that feeling where you like, I need to get up and get my baseball bat and walk out of the room?
There's only been, not really like since then. But we've been in like other situations where like she's gotten nervous like that. Like if there's like a person walking past me or coming up to us, and she's only ever done that once or twice. And it's like, I've gotten a weird feeling about that person too. Like when you kind of get that stranger danger feeling where you're like, right. Oh, I probably shouldn't walk past that person.
Right. So I would say to maybe try and put you at ease. Dogs are really good at picking up like physical and like subconscious signals from their owners. Like they spend 24 hours of the day or a long hour at a time with you. And probably when you got up out of bed, she sensed that you felt that you were in danger. So she jumped into, instinctual protection mode.
She's like, I'm going to fuck something up if it's in here.
And so she darted into the room because normally that's what most dogs will do is they want to go in before the owner because they want to make sure everything is safe. So when she went around smelling the room, I mean, she was checking for stuff because she knew that you were scared. That might have been what she's doing. And then since then, she's just, she picks up on the feelings that you have, whether those are triggered by something else or whether it's just, when you feel that, you just feel scared or nervous or something, she picks up on that. And she's a good dog. Like those are good dogs. Those are good. That's a sign of a good dog. And so maybe she's just picking up on that and just, acting how she thinks she should act.
Or you have a haunted place.
I mean,
and you're paranormally activated, and your dog has extra senses and just helping.
So the only counter to that, Dan, is because I was thinking that too, but it was weird because I didn't really tune into it until I saw the fur standing up on her back. So it was like her reactions made me kind of think and then act that way, if that makes sense. Right.
So she got a little, her getting nervous made you more nervous, and then that made her more nervous. So you kind of had like a resonant amplification effect, maybe. Or Zell's right, and your house is haunted.
Got a ghost in there.
I mean,
dog can sense it.
I'm all for it being just a complete overreaction. No, because I can't. I'm not a ghost person. I don't know. I feel like sometimes...
Wait, you're a real person? Not a ghost person?
No, I'm not a person who enjoys scary things. Okay. That's what I meant. But yeah, I'm a real person. No, I don't like... I feel like sometimes if you have like paranormal experiences, if you want to see it, sometimes it will show it to you. And I just never want to see a ghost in my entire life. So... I thought it was kind of a cool story, so I wanted to call in and share it with you guys.
No, we appreciate it.
We
it was a good story, man.
Yeah, we like good dog stories.
Listen, that ghost didn't want nothing to do with Missy or your Louisville slugger.
Nope.
Yeah, we like
got out of there.
No.
Got the fuck out.
You're good.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Have a good night.
Have a good night, Gracie.
Thanks, you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Did you say what kind of dog it was? No, I'm trying to picture the dog, man.
A good dag.
Good dag.
It's a fucking good dag. Doesn't matter which kind. Every time I forget to lock the door to the basement, I grab Axel. I'm like, all right, man, let's go. And he's up the stairs before me. Little bastard.
And we're at that
fucking gonzo.
We're at the time of the episode where we're going to take one more call for the night. If we get one in the next minute, if not, we'll start wrapping it up. So one more call. If you're hesitant and you've been itching to get on, now's your chance. Last call of the night.
Yeah, PG-13 call, though. We're getting lots of scary ones. We got to tone it down a little bit. Let's make it just, we got to sleep after this, okay?
It helps me. Helps me sleep. Scarier the story, the easier I fall off. So bring it. Terrifying. Demons.
Yeah.
Poltergeists. Bring them.
Rainbows and sunshine. We could do some of that, too. I'm into
cosmic, unspoken horrors. Ancient... lost gods, ancient inhabiting cyclopean constructs,
cursed,
reaching out across the purple blackness of space to invade your dreams and drive you into a pit of gibbering black madness. We'll listen to that.
I like that. Helps. Eases me off to bed. Just put on some headphones, listen to cosmic channels, and slip off to sleep.
Yep. Unspeakable abominations crawling up to your door, scratching on it. Formless black masses crawling across your ceiling.
Yeah.
Displaying many pairs of teeth where they shouldn't be.
Yeah. Inhabiting your body so you're never really you again.
Mm-hmm.
All that's good shit. All right. Last call of the night coming through. Hello, Cosmic Channels.
Hello?
Hello.
No way. I actually got through. No way.
You're in, man. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah. Jordan Roth from the UK.
Jordan from the UK. Hey, whoa, what the fuck? It's like 3 a.m.
Time is it, man? Jesus.
Yeah. It's real late. I've been trying to get through for ages. I'm real drunk and kind of high.
Oh,
I've been sitting there for a long time.
Join the club.
Me too.
I have like a UFO story and kind of like a ghost story, if that's all right.
Well, let's hear it. Last call of the night, so let's finish in style.
I'll try to do my best. So the ghost story was I used to have a German Shepherd, and he'd always sleep in my room with me and me and my older brother. And one night I woke up and I went to the toilet and I noticed my dog wasn't in my room or wasn't on my bed like normal. Fair enough. And my toilet's like at the top of the stairs, and I've looked down the stairs and I was like, oh, my dog's downstairs. I just see this big black like outline of a German Shepherd downstairs. I was like, oh, fair enough. Then did my business in the toilet, went back to my room, and my dog greeted me in my room.
Oh, fuck. Hellhound.
So like I was pretty sure I see my dog downstairs, and then it was just in my room, and I just sort of got in bed with my dog and didn't sleep too well for the rest of the night.
No, man, you got Gozer running around your house.
Well, now
That's
you got
terrifying.
2 dogs, regular dog and ghost dog.
One hellhound, no big deal.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't really know how easy hellhounds are to tame, but that was a bit of an experience.
So other than the sighting of like what you seen was like you thought was your dog, nothing else? Like it didn't like try and enter your room or anything?
So I saw it at it almost didn't look like a shadow. It sort of looked like that was just my dog.
Right.
Like fair enough. And then I went back to my room and my dog was just there. Like he must have been asleep on my brother's bed or whatever. And he was just sort of there. It was, I was very concerned for my well-being.
Sent you for a trip. Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. But, and the UFO story, it's not a long one, but, I was out camping with me and my girlfriend, and I was going for a little smoke walk, and she decided to accompany me on this walk. And I was just looking up in the sky because, keep your eyes on the skies. And I was looking up and I see just like, it was like the size of a star, and it was just moving at like a really quick pace across the sky. And then I was like, okay, so maybe it's a satellite or something. And then it like dropped down and just sort of stayed still. And because obviously I was kind of high and a little drunk, I was like, babe, can you see that as well? It took her a little while to see it. And then she was like, yeah, I see that. And then it started like moving around, like really like frantically, like all over. Like it wouldn't just go straight. It dropped down and go back and come forward. And it was just, and then eventually we just watched it until it eventually disappeared. It lasted like 3 or 4 minutes.
So it went from looking like a satellite just crossing the horizon to an erratic moving ball of light.
It was crazy. That was like the only time I could say I've seen a UFO. I'm not saying it's like a green alien or anything like that. I'm just saying it's something I can't identify.
Right. Did it change
UFO for sure?
Did it change size or like color at all, or was it always around the same size of light?
It was mainly, it was like the size of a star, but it was like a blue, like a pale blue, a pale red, and like a whitey colours, and that was like it.
And then it seemed to
it was just
jump
it
around.
Moved so. Yeah, at first I was just, it's a satellite, and it definitely wasn't like a satellite. I've never seen anything move like that before.
Yeah, UFO. I mean, unidentified. It's weird. Anytime like a satellite seems to like change, like they always go in the same direction, or they're always stationary depending on what type of like orbit they're in. But as soon as they start like bouncing around up and down, left, right, looks like they're moving erratically. It's always weird.
That's what caught my attention. So I had to make sure I'd get like a sober person's perspective and make sure I wasn't just seeing things.
Smart.
But I mean, I live quite close to Rendlesham Base, like the military base, and I thought I've sent you guys some pictures before about it, and I've actually there was like loads of carvings on it, and I carved ATT.
Yeah.
Those are quality
Right
pics.
on.
Those are fucking rad.
That's great.
ATT International.
Yep.
Just straight.
Crossing the pond. That's great, man.
I really wasn't expecting the call. I was literally just about to go to bed. I think I left you the voicemail because I wasn't expecting to get through this week.
No, it's I think we've only had one other caller from the UK because it's like 9 hours ahead there. So it's got to be like, what time? It was like 4 a.m. or something?
Yeah. Right now it is 2:41 in the morning. I've been here since you started.
Awesome.
I've been trying to get through, but
Dedication.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Definitely worth it. Yeah, definitely worth it. Yeah.
Thanks for staying up.
Zell recommended a song. It was Doom Groove by, I can't remember the band.
Oh, Doom Groove, Common Minds.
Yeah, and I've been playing. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. I've been playing that on repeat.
Yeah, those guys are cool.
Consistently. Yeah, so I really enjoy that.
Yeah, they're coming back in to record 3 more at the studio, so stay tuned.
Definitely.
Right on, man. All right, we're going to wrap up Cosmic Channels for the night. So thank you very much.
All right, cheers for taking my call, man.
Yep.
I hope you guys enjoy your night.
Talk to you again.
You too, man.
Take it
Take care.
easy.
Bye.
Peace, everybody.
Bye.
Boom, another episode of Cosmic Channels in the books. I'm going to leave the recording going. If you wanted to call in and you want to leave a voicemail, I'll leave it going there for about half an hour. So if you're nervous to talk live, but you have a story and you just want to leave it, we'll keep them in the bank. And when we're short on calls, we can plug one in at another time. So same number, 1-833-703-0424. And I think that's it for the night.
Peace, everyone.
Cosmic Channels is brought to you by Big Theory Productions. The Cosmic Channels are now closed.
America's beverage companies are working together.
To reduce plastic waste in our environment.
At the Coca-Cola Company, Keurig Dr. Pepper,
And PepsiCo, we're designing our bottles and caps
to be 100% recyclable.
So every bottle can become a new one.
Learn more at everybottleback.org.
Now more than ever, it's important for you and your family to enjoy the spaces you're in most often. Visit FergusonShowrooms.com to shop online or schedule a personalized consultation to meet with our experts at your local Ferguson Bath, Kitchen, and Lighting Gallery. Together we'll help you make the most of home and create a space you'll love to live in. Get started on your project and discover extraordinary products like the Pro Grand Range by Thermador.